Hey, welcome everyone. Tom here from Park Avenue Trading, your chief dealer, keeping you sane in these insane markets, or what appear to be insane anyway. There is some type of rhythm and code that's inside this thing that we just can figure out every 80% of the time, if we're lucky. Right now, we're going to be doing the weekly analysis. We're going to be starting off with good old Eurodollar. We've been talking about Eurodollar for a while, basically saying it's in a big rectangle. It really hasn't broken out of the rectangle. So for this week, we really have to pay attention to what's happening with really this area right here. And in particular, I'm really interested in what's happening in like on this close, this low here. That's an important point. We're just using 3-bar harmony that I discussed. This is daily, so we could extrapolate and go weekly and get deeper low. What we're going to find is the deeper low is like right there, the 103.35 level. Right now, Eurodollar is basically still in a bearish mode. Same thing with cable. We're going to get into that one next. That one we've been saying is looking like it wants to break down and head towards 120. We got a lot of wood to chop before we get to 120, but it's trending lower. So it's all going to depend. Now, I trade heavily in the crosses. So, I mean, sterling yen and euro yen, for instance, those are the ones that I particularly pay attention to for myself. And what's going on at dollar yen is quite interesting, and we're going to cover that too. So right now, euro dollar, really as it stands, during this next up and coming couple of days, we got to watch the 104, say 40 level. If that level breaks, it's basically definitely showing weakness, heading towards that 103.40 level. Now, if that level goes, okay, it's tracking back down to that 102 area, 101, almost parity, right? Now, this is the end of the year. So, generally, really don't like getting involved in, like, by Christmas and, like, the new year. Like, you got to wait. I like to wait till, like, after the new year, because mostly right now what banks and big investment firms are doing is they're squaring positions. They're basically recalibrating, trying to figure out what they want to do for the next up and coming year. What's the game plan? And that's something you should do as well. It's like you should figure out, okay, what do I think geopolitically is the playing field right now? Now we got a new administration coming in. As long as we're not being attacked by aliens, because all the drones that are flying over New Jersey and all over the world, I have no idea. Nobody has any idea what's going on, supposedly. But really quite interesting that we got unknown aerial, what do they call it now? UAFs, unidentified aerial phenomenon, instead of UFOs. So it's quite interesting, and we're living really in quite interesting times. So aside from that, for just sticking with trading, the only way euro dollar is going to show any type of strength if it can get above this 106.40 level for the week. Okay, and that would start to show that it's shaking off the bearishness. It has not been able to do that. It's been basically just slowly, not really doing much. The crosses have been moving. Now, euro yen is up because dollar yen is up. And dollar yen is really interesting because maybe they're already starting to position themselves to get long dollar yen again because interest rate differentials again, and maybe they're feeling that there's going to be a biddish tone for U.S. Stocks, because the new administration may come in and cut regulations, and that's going to be a boom to the U.S. stock market. So the S&P 500, the SPY is going to be wild to trade. I really wish I traded it. I don't. I should actually look into it. There's a lot of money to be made trading the SPY itself, and there's a lot of traders that trade it. So maybe I should get involved with that. But as one person, it's really difficult to pay attention to more than, I find, 4 things. That's me, and when you start trying to trade many different commodities or different instruments, it's kind of like herding cats. you can't do it. You grab one cat, you put him in the corner, the other cat takes off, you grab him. By the time you go back to the corner, that cat left. And you got to go back and get the other cat. Before you know it, you can't herd cats. Can't do it. It's impossible. They don't stay in one spot. That's why I'm a dog fan. I just take my dog and say, sit and don't move. And the dog does it. That's cool. Cat, you go, sit, stay, right. Cat's going to do whatever it wants to do. So let's move over. So right now, Eurodollar, the most important point really that we got to talk about is the 104, say 40 level. If that goes, it's showing weakness. Now, you got to pay attention to the daily points. And I'm going to be doing a daily. I always do my daily videos and my daily pivot points. Many people find them to be, if you're just looking for entertainment, I'm not your guy. I'm your guy that's for traders that, are interested in trading and what pivot points are important for the day to give them ideas on where to take trades. And that's all I do. I do also have educational videos too, for people. So, excuse me. So that, tries to help move the channel along. So let's go get on over to sterling dollar. Okay, we've been talking about sterling dollar for a while. We've been saying it's in a downward movement. This week, it needs to recover over 128.18. It's going to need a lot of muzzle velocity to do that, to turn around. Right now, if you just look at the daily chart, we're breaking just slightly below this pivot point low right there. That's not to say it can't recover and then, move back up into the big rectangle that we've been talking about, which is now probably, if I go down to this low bar's close, or this bar's close, that's not the low bar, but that point right there, that close is an important point. It also happens to be what, you guys would consider a doji, right? A doji bar. So what happened to my face? Disappeared. Let me exit drawing mode. Oh, I guess because I went in drawing mode, my face disappears. Okay, so the important point right now is this close right there, 125.68. Now, if that goes, we're going back down to this 124, say 80 level. A break of that is opening up to the 122, and you got, again, pay attention. I'll be doing daily updates for volatility, so I can figure out during the day like where we're at and what level would be good level of resistance, or a level, if it breaks, it's heading down to that level. But right now, sterling dollar itself is in a bearish tone, and just using straight 3-bar harmony, when this day opens, this low that happened is an important low. It's very close. So I would say that if it breaks that low, it's not really signaling, okay, yeah, just jump in and go short. No, it could get a nice retrace that you could sell. You could use Fibonacci off of that. You could, if you use the Fibonacci technique that I showed you in the other videos, if you haven't seen them, go check them out. And you could figure out where a good resistance level would be to participate in a sale. And also where a level is to say, oh, I'm wrong for the day. It might be heading a little bit higher. But it's in a bearish tone. Sterling's definitely bearish. Dollar yen, this is the one. Okay, dollar yen, it has not fully recovered from, it's in a bullish tone of a bearish move, has not fully recovered. The only way it's fully recovering is getting over this high of 157. Then you could start saying, oh man, this thing could retrace to 154, and then it could go and try to attack the high of the 161 high that we had. Something's up with dollar yen. It is bullish. Okay, the only way it kind of reverses this trend if it breaks this 151, the figure level. Now, there's resistance at 155.32. There's actually also resistance at 150, like 154. Short-term resistance at 154.80, but I'm not really concerned with that. Just because this is weekly analysis. The 155.33 would be the first punch through to say, oh, we got a potential here that we're breaking out of the bearishness of it, and we're going to try to attack that high. What are the big boys doing is the question. Like, how are they positioning themselves? A lot of people talk about commitment of traders reports, and the one thing that you have to pay attention to on the commitment of trader reports is you don't pay attention to what the retail traders are doing. The retail traders are generally wrong about 85% of the time. So actually, your better trade would be to fade whatever they're saying. But you got to watch what the commercials are doing. The commercials are the ones that give you the idea of what they're positioning themselves. Now, there's also, you have to see if there's a dramatic change percentage-wise in what they're doing. So there's like a formula you would have to apply with the commitment of traders report. And that I could do a video on. And I'll tell you who made it really popular. It was Larry Williams. Larry Williams made it popular way back in like the early to mid 1980s. I think he even wrote a book on it. And guy was a great trader. I mean, he was a good technical trader, yet he applied some geopolitical / fundamental ideas. And that was one of the ideas he came up with. So if you want, go and find that book. Larry Williams wrote a book on the commitment of traders report, and you can actually learn how to analyze it better. I personally don't use it because I'm a technician, daily trader, and I'm not really interested in position trading. Just not my cup of tea. So dollar yen is in a bullish tone right now. We could get a pullback. You got to watch the daily videos to actually see where those levels are. And I'll have them for you. I don't have them right now because we haven't started trading, so I don't know what the marketplace wants to do right now. But it has been bullish, and it would be a safe bet right now, just looking at the market going, hey, any pullback to like 152, 152 to figure 151, 30. That's a pretty good buy area. Wow. I mean, it's far away from that right now. So just watch the daily videos. Let's go over to sterling yen. Another interesting cross currency here. It's basically kind of like sterling dollar. All right, it's in this rectangle right here. Okay, it's showing strength if it breaks above this area. It's showing some strength to it. Where to? Well, if I go to this high day's close, that's an important point. 196, 196.70, 197. Even if I go up to the high of the bar, 198-ish. It's all going to depend on what dollar yen does and how much velocity sterling dollar has. If dollar yen starts taking off, but yet they're hitting sterling dollar just as hard, they're selling sterling dollar and they're buying dollar yen. So in other words, they're really getting long dollars, US dollars, because by buying dollar yen and then selling sterling dollar, the positions are the same. They're not hedged positions anymore. They're just straight dollar positions. It would depend on what the velocity is on the sales of the sterling. Is the sale of the sterling occurring first, like where they're selling it, and then they're slowly accumulating dollar yen, like maybe they're buying dollar yen on dips slowly. They're not just taking off and buying dollar yen because they don't want to show their hand. Then the cross is going to come off. And a break of like 192.53 during the week would show weakness heading back down towards that 188.07 level. It's a tough call right now. It is kind of neutral to slightly bearish. And I would actually go neutral right now. We have to find out what they want to do in sterling dollar. And we want to be one step ahead. We know that the break of the low that we were talking about is actually showing weakness. So therefore, we can get a clue there. But then, like I said, use Fibonacci levels to basically try to get a sale in. Let's go euro dollar, euro yen. Sorry, same animal. Euro dollar has been holding up better than sterling dollar. It's been holding on with both hands in its teeth to not breaking down yet. but it is bearish. Euro yen is going to be a direct relation again to dollar yen and how much velocity dollar yen has, either up or down. But right now it is in a bullish leg of a bearish move. Resistance on the week is 162.62. There's support at 158.59 in the week. There's not much to go on. Again, watch the daily, and I'll have points of interest on the daily that, you know, we could make trades off of with low risk, good opportunity to score some pips. So I look forward to seeing you in the daily videos. Hope you like what you see. Smash the like button, subscribe. I want to thank all my new subscribers. Thank you so much for joining the channel. I'm kind of close. I want, 10,000 followers. I'm a little off, got 295 right now or something like that. I really appreciate it. Please leave some comments. Give me some thumbs up. Give me some suggestions on what you want me to do. I'd really appreciate that. That would be really cool for you to do that. And remember, always enjoy the party, but dance near the door. Cheers.